Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises and double honors due to Yahweh by Hashem HaMashiach wa Malaki Yahweh Shai. Secondly, this is Brother Yardan, WFI Detroit, coming back at you with yet another cold cut. Today in this cold cut, we'll be going over Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter, right? And diving right into it, right? Verse 1. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. Right, just with that, we're going to get the book of Sirach, chapter 4, verse 15. Whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. Now, this is like a precept to cut the heathen and or Christians, right, and inform them that, hey, we will be judging as long as we continue to keep the commandments and hearken into wisdom. So back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 1. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Right, so if you're a judge of the earth, right, which is the Israelite man, you have to love righteousness. What is righteousness? Righteousness is the commandments. Let's get the precept. Book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. See that? And it's another one at 162 or 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness. Plain upon tables. And it continues to read on and say, let thine hand help me, for I have chosen thy precepts. So let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 1. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth, think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. Verse 2. For he will be found of them that tempt him not, and sheweth himself unto such as do not distrust in him. Right? Distrust him. So don't be that person that's always trying to tempt the Lord. Well, I'll do this if the Lord do this for me. Right? Don't tempt the Lord. Never tempt the Lord. That's off. That's very wicked. 1 Corinthians chapter. I don't want that. I want James. James chapter 1, verse. I'll jump up to verse 5. Let me see. Might be the second chapter. One and 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. All right, so never say, the Lord tempted me, neither should you ever tempt the Lord. The Lord don't deal with that. That's not, what did it just say in Wisdom of Solomon? 1 and 1. Right? That's not loving righteousness, right? Not being a judge. And, think of the Lord with a good heart. That's not what you're doing when you tempting the Lord and you doing that wickedness. That's not loving the Lord. But again, verse 2, for he will be found of them that tempt him not, and sheweth himself unto such as do not distrust him. For froward thoughts separate from God. Right? That's like Proverbs 9 and let me get that. Proverbs 9 and 24. Salakia. 24 and 9. It says, the thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. So thinking about a dove fighting an alligator or a Donkey Kong fighting Godzilla, that's not a foolish thought, right? That's just, maybe carnal, but it's not foolish. A foolish thought is more so anything that's mischievous, contrary to righteousness. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 3, for froward thoughts separate from God, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. So your thoughts can separate you from the Most High, along with sinning. Right? That's Isaiah 59 and 2, verse 4. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. So when your body is subject unto sin, wisdom can't say this is a beautiful place to dwell because you already got things dwelling in you. And as demons, right? Because if you have a lying tongue and you have a lying spirit on you, why will wisdom dwell in the same house with a lying spirit? It makes no sense. So when you have spirits on you, wisdom is departed from you. Verse 5, for the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. For wisdom is a loving spirit, and I will not acquit, will not acquit a blasphemer of his words. For God is a witness of his reigns, and a true beholder of his heart, and hearer of his tongue. Plain upon tables. Verse 7, for the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things hath knowledge of the voice. Beautiful precept. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteousness, unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance, when it punisheth, pass by him. All right, so even speaking unrighteous things can get you jammed up. Verse 9, for inquisition shall be made into thy counsel of the ungodly, and the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord, for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. For the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmuring is not hid. And that's a mighty precept as well. For the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and that's facts. And you dealing with somebody that's jealous, you best believe that ear is everywhere. Verse 31, it's like verse 11. Verse 11, therefore beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting. And there is no word so secret that shall go for naught, and the mouth that believeth slayeth that soul. So let me get a precept in Sirach 28 and 13. What did the Lord say? Curse the whisper and the double tongue, for such have destroyed many that were at peace. A backbiting tongue hath disquieted many, and driven them from nation to nation. Strong cities hath it pulled down, and overthrown the houses of great men. A backbiting tongue has cast out virtuous women and deprived them of their labors. And the list goes on. Right, having a double-tongued, backbiter, whispering type of spirit, and you can get jammed up by that. So let's link that back up with Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 11. Therefore beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting, for there is no word so secret that shall go for naught, and the word that believeth slayeth soul. Seek not death in the air. Let me get another precept, because that reminded me of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 10 and 20. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter. So that goes back to a little birdie told me. Best believe is always somebody listening. What did just say in Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter. And it's like in Sirach, I believe we just went slack here. Verse 10, for the ears of jealousy heareth all things, right? So there's always somebody listening. So even if you whisper something, mutter something under your tongue, somebody heard you. Best believe somebody heard you. Verse 12, seek not death in the air of your life, and pour not upon yourselves destruction with the works of your hands. All right, this is a precept that's commonly pulled up when the topic of suicide is brought forth. Because a lot of Israelites will ask, well, can you commit suicide? The Lord didn't say thou shalt not kill yourself. Hey, the Lord did say thou shalt not kill. Right? Well, of course, that goes into the word murder. But you just can't be a manslayer. You know, that's off. That'll put a spirit on you. You know, you're destroying somebody that could potentially be profitable for the ministry. So you actually pulling out bricks. You stopping the building being built. So point is, don't destroy yourself by your own hands as well. More so touching on suicide, smoking too much. I'm saying smoking too much as if you can smoke a little. Smoking, drinking too much, right? Because that's the thing. So don't destroy yourself with your hands. Let's get a precept in Job 11:6. No smoking, no smoking. Just so that's clear. Not 11:6. What is that? 11:17. 11:14. If iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away, and let not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacle. Right? It's playing upon tables. If iniquity, whether it be weed, crack, lean, is in your hand, put it far away, and let it not wickedness dwell in thy tabernacle. We read earlier in Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter. For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. Moving down to verse 13, for God made not death, neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living. The Lord doesn't want to see you kill each other or kill yourself in any type of manner. Right? Although we bring out destruction and the Lord is a man of war, it's not like the Lord is sitting down and he said, I can't wait for this Israelite to die. I love that he just died. Right? The Lord is not, the Lord isn't like that on that level. You understand? Verse 14, he created all things that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were healthful. And there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. For righteousness is immortal. But ungodly men with their works and words caused it to them. For when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed to naught and made covenant with it, because they were because they are worthy to take part with it. Right? And this verse kind of segues, kind of goes into the second chapter. Right? So Abaratazah, Israel heard a precept he never heard of. Abaratazah, you've been edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. With that, I'm going to bid Israel Shalom.